Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 4 The Last Revelations. This is 115 speaking, and let me welcome you again to the Sacred Lake. So this will be our second dip into the lake, where we are going to find the rest of the items, skills, and also get the one and only secret in Sacred Lake. Now, by now, since this is your second visit, you can see the corridor and the entrance is a bit different than when you entered from the Great Hippostal Hall. This is basically a corridor which we entered once we got our hands on the sun disk from the room above with the obelisks that we had to align, right? So by now you should have the sun disk, the sun goddess, either individually or combined, and the amulet of Horus, right? If you don't have any of these, since you are in Sacred Lake, you will be able to go back into the Temple of Karnak and the Great Hippostal Hall. In Temple of Karnak you can get your hands on the sun goddess and the key that allows you to go to the real Great Hippostal Hall and get your hands on the sun disk. So if you're missing any of these items, check out my previous videos and you'll know what to do. Saying that, if we continue down this corridor, we should be in a very, very familiar place. Ha! You know which one, right? The main obelisk courtyard. So let's just get rid of the scorpion over here. If we wouldn't be here before during our first visit into the Sacred Lake and not have taken the short detour, there would be way more scorpions here. You will find some goodies in the lake over here. However, we unfortunately, in case you are interested in all the kills, and I am, you will have to backtrack yet again. Remember, this is the crawl space which leads into the central area of the Sacred Lake. The reason we need to backtrack, unfortunately, is one particular crocodile, one child of Sobek, which, for whatever reason, spawns only during your second visit into the Sacred Lake. And I'm not sure what the exact conditions of him spawning are. If it's having the Sun Goddess and Sun Disk in your inventory, I also tested out having them combined into the new object. This also caused him to appear. So either one of the tiles from the corridor from the Great Hippostal Hall obelisk room is what triggers him, or I honestly don't know what it is, but I tried everything in my power to make him spawn during our first visit into the Sacred Lake. It did not happen, as I explained in that video. So who am I talking about? Well, first of all, get your shotgun ready. This guy deserves the pain we are gonna dish out. Whoa. Well, this is funny. This is... I don't know why. I always end up in these situations for whatever reason. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, child of Sobek, that's the end for you. Right, so... yeah, at least we got a little shit and giggle out of this short detour. So now we can go all the way back into the crawl space after we bag this extra kill, this hunting trophy. Something I refer to as, if I'm not mistaken, redneck fishing in Tomb Raider 2. I think we shotgun one of the fish in one of the levels, if I'm not mistaken. It was pretty hilarious. Yeah, now these are actual predators, unlike barracudas, but so again, it's up to you if killing that crocodile is worthwhile going through the two crawl spaces. I understand if not, who am I to judge, right? I mean, it's me wasting your time. So you might be wondering, okay, great, we have the Sun Goddess and the Sun Disk. What the hell are we actually supposed to do? Do you see any altar, any slot for a key or anything like that? So observe how there's a Sun Disk displayed on the short statue over there, and there are 3 Sun Disks above the archways, right? This archway was closed up until we entered from the other end of the Great Hippostal Hall. Well, you know, you press the action key here, nothing. Lara will not even say her really lovely no, nothing. So this is the strange thing, you do not have the correct key item, see?
No.
But if you combine the Sun Goddess and Sun Disk, you end up with a Sun Talisman. I don't understand the naming. Why is this the Sun Talisman? I mean, if anything, this should be the complete Sun Goddess, but there you have it. And now when you press the action key, the game detects you have the correct key item, you know, different key item ID or something like that, and you can put it in. Now observe what will happen. It's totally worthwhile. That was just gorgeous. Again, the ancient Egyptian electricity never fails to amaze. Now, as you can notice, also great attention to detail, the archway from which we entered does not have a sun disk above it, right? The obelisks also do not shoot the electricity, or I guess it's supposed to be beams of light, I'm not sure. The obelisks in the Great Apostle Hall had yellow beams, these are blue, so automatically makes me think of electricity. Yeah, so, you know, it didn't interact with that archway, but all the other three ones, it did. And pretty much the archway we are facing is the way to continue into the Tomb of Samarkand, right? The west one. However, we have the right and the left one, or the north and the south one. So first of all, let's go north, because it's just gonna be one small pickup. There it is. You know, might not really seem worthwhile considering everything we had to go through, even with the canopic jars, just to get our hands on the Sun Talisman. But don't you worry, that's not it. The Tomb of Samarkand is the real reward. However, if we go south, the very opposite, we will be awarded with that one and only secret that's located in the Sacred Lake, okay? Now, I'm gonna make something really stupid. Really stupid, and I'm very curious how it's gonna turn out. Okay, I mean, we haven't died yet in this Let's Play, so it's bound to happen sooner or later. It might just happen sooner than I intended. Whoa! Okay, wow. Whew. Literally, my hands are shaking. This is kind of a big deal that we didn't die, because if we were to fall into the shallow water, Lara would break her neck. Yeah, and the reason I wanted to get to the bottom of this room is a ton of goodies. So there was a box of shotgun shells, now Uzis, then over here are white shots, just need to go down enough to really get them. Then beyond that is a corner which holds a small health pack, and by now you are very familiar with this type of door. This holds that secret, right? So by now you know into center Lara, hold action key until the opening animation starts. You can let go now. Let me light up a flare, why not? Maybe darken some of your screens. And that's the secret chime that we wanted to hear. Brilliant. And again, inside, even more goodies, and a completely new type of pickup, which I'm super excited about. But first, let's get the terrible shotgun ammunition out with. A large health pack, because we apparently don't have enough of those. And finally, oh, do you see them? These small crossbow bolts have small explosives attached to their tips. So let me just show you what I mean. This is called the crossbow explosive ammo, 10 per pickup, which is insanely generous. If I compare it to the grenade ammunition, we only get 4 grenades for super or for normal ammo. So you get more than double that with crossbow bolts, and they are also more accurate explosives, more far-reaching than the awkward lobbing of grenades via grenade gun. But, you know, I'll be able to talk more about that once we have the actual weapons. But, again, I don't feel they really balance this well. They are extremely generous with that explosive ammunition. But I shouldn't complain, because we are after all the kills. And especially in the Alexandria region, we might get into a situation where we need to make every explosive arrow count, or not be able to kill all enemies. We'll see. That's a challenge I'm very keen on figuring out, something we haven't really been through since the times of the Maria Doria levels in Tomb Raider 2 and very limited harpoon gun ammunition. I kind of like going into the dark, you know, not knowing how it's gonna turn out, what's it up ahead. Because when I was doing my sort of training playthrough with the PS1 version, I wasn't really trying to get all the kills, not even all the items. I was pretty much just trying to get all the secrets and complete the levels to get a general overview of what is our goal in each level. Yeah, and by the way, if you're not as reckless as me, you can just directly jump onto that platform, pick up the flares first, and then make a swan dive, a safe one over there, to pick up the rest of the goodies. And yeah, cool. So I never did it like this. I'm very happy we survived. Now, let's continue into the middle, or, well, in this case it was the west archway, the final one. And we are approaching the Tomb of Samarkand. Oh my god, this place really reminds me of the Great Apostle Hall. Not quite, don't worry, it's not going to be as terrifying. There is some monkey swinging involved, but not too much. First of all, because we did not get a ridiculous amount of pickups in this ridiculously short level yet, let's get 3 additional ones. And now, we cannot really continue because the way to go up is, well, too high. So we need to get on one of these blocks and start monkey swinging across. And this is actually really vicious and evil. I'm not a big fan, but here I would advise you to let go of the monkey swinging as soon as you hear trouble. Yep, that's the sound of trouble. Bats spawn, of course. And you will take some minor damage, as you can see, if you let go, but it's preferable to the damage the bats will do. Lara, please lock onto the correct bat, thank you. By the way, I'm not sure if I explained this yet, but you can press the look key to cycle between targets. I think I explained it into the Tomb of Seth, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, that's 2 bats down, and there should be a third one. Whoa, where are you? My god, the flight pattern is completely erratic. Oof, okay, that's the third one down. Perfect. And now you can monkey swing in peace. You can also, you know, the first time I played this, I tried to, you know, just ignore them, let them chip away our health slowly and monkey swing across, but you then have to crawl forward, and you also don't have as much space to maneuver in the next area. And the problem with that is that if you are interested in all the kills, the bats can get stuck. Some of them might make it into the crawl space, others will just get stuck in this area, and once you reach the top, it will be even more difficult to get rid of them. So, you know, if you're speedrunning or don't care about all the kills, it might be, you know, preferable to just ignore them and go about your business. But again, there is also a pickup in a crawl space, which might make you especially vulnerable to them, over here on the left. So, you know, I just prefer to do it like this. And it blends in with the texture very easily, but these are in fact grey Uzi clips on grey stone. And you know what? Given the distance of this crawl space, I think we're going to turn Lara around. And I think I'm going to be saying this often, but I really miss being able to get out of crawl spaces facing forward, the move they implemented in Tomb Raider 5. I mean, that should really have been a given since Tomb Raider 3. But then again, everyone's a critic, especially in retrospect and hindsight, right? I get it. I kind of always wonder what amazing things they would have managed to achieve if, for each Tomb Raider entry, they had 2 years to develop. But then again, the technology progressed at a faster rate, so I imagine they wouldn't all be as classic as this, you know? They would have to display some technological advancements and innovations if they had more time. And as a result, the game might have been entirely different and maybe not for the better. Especially if you have this itch only classic Tomb Raiders can scratch. The square-based ones. Okay. Now don't get confused in this area, okay? I know you can admire the architecture, the columns. I don't see anything significant marked here. The hieroglyphics we've seen in the Temple of Karnak. The columns have actually really ugly textures from up close, although I like the men displayed in the middle row of the column. Not sure what they're doing with the farmers or something like that. Really cool, nevertheless. Anyway, this is where you need to go, even though it looks counterintuitive or even potentially slippery, but don't worry, it's not. But get your guns ready. Because there are bats. Okay, one down, and... oh, you annoying little shit. There you go, down. Okay, and there are no goodies here, no pickups, you just need to go down. And as far as I'm aware, the only way to get down safely without taking any damage is here in this left corner. Perfect. Okay, before we continue there, that's where the level ends, let's get our hands on some ancient Egyptian equipment, flares, and of course Uzis. You know, I read a lot about the ancient Egyptian drive-bys, when a chariot would stop by your place and just start shooting if you haven't paid your extortion fees. It's been like number 2 cause of deaths in ancient Egypt was by being shot by Uzis from drive-bys. The first number 1 cause of death was being trampled by hippos, yeah, but Uzis were close second. And now, oh dear, I don't like this place. It's ugly. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry if you have fond memories of it, but let's be honest, these are the ugliest columns I have ever seen in my life. The textures are barely there, those that are there are just distorted, the angles are all wrong, and the 2 statues of Seth, which should have been absolutely badass, are sickly green as if there's piss water reflecting on them. I don't like this place. But don't worry, the game will make amends because we are also gonna see what it actually looks like in an FMV cutscene, right? Now let me just reach the threshold over here. And let's not cross it, because once you do, the level will end. Do you see the slot over there? You guessed it, it's actually for the Amulet of Horus. We'll have to insert it there. Well, actually not we as the player, but Lara will during the FMV cutscene. And yeah, so this is pretty much what Samarkand has written on one of the scrolls. Apparently the bearer of the Amulet of Horus will be able to enter, and inside we'll learn more about the armor of Horus that will summon Horus, who will be able to contain Seth or something like that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But since this marks the end of the level, let's look at the statistics screen. So this was our second visit into the Sacred Lake. We have found all 15 items in the second visit. We have killed all 7 enemies. Mind you, we had to backtrack for that one crocodile, which awkwardly spawns only during these conditions. And we have found the one and only secret in this level, bringing us to the total of 30. So, I'm very, very happy about that. And let me also make a save here. Now the good news is that this marks the end of the non-linear levels in Tomb Raider 4 in the Karnak area for a while, so the next few ones I'll be able to upload more quickly unless, well, life and difficulties will get in the way, but I'll be able to upload individual ones. You will not have to wait for another larger batch of videos, so I'm at least happy about that in case you were wondering. Okay, so thank you very much guys for watching, and I'll see you next time in the actual Tomb of Samarkand. Please enjoy the FMV.
Miss Croft!
Von Croy.
You sound concerned, my dear. Have you misplaced something?
Nothing I shan't be retrieving at a later date, Lieber.
You know how I admire your perseverance, but I fear this time we may be testing it to the, how would you say, maximum.
Always griping, Werner. If it's the leg causing all this resentment, I seem to remember that being down to your affinity with pulling hazardous levers.
Enough of this tedious banter, Miss Croft. It is time for you to realize... Miss Croft? Now, let us review your sprinting skills.